All right, show you guys my new quick setup I've been doing. So these are made by Spy Point. They're a little bit expensive, but I've been investing in them, just one or two here and there, and getting them built up a little bit for my cameras. I'm almost have as many of these as I have these now, and they're really cool. They screw in the bottom of the trail camera, and you screw them into a tree, and they're totally adjustable. That's what I really like about them. I'll put them kind of low here. If you can get away with low camera angles, that's kind of what you want to do. And the way this tree's the way this tree's made, it's kind of flanked on both sides there. The cows are not going to want to stick their head in here and rub on it, I don't think. So you just screw that thing in there about as you think you need it. And then it has this other screw here. I'll get it on the side here. It's got to be on the side. And it has this other screw that adjusts this. So you just take your camera, put your camera on the screw, screw it in till you get it tight, then unscrew it, spin it around. Actually, I'm going to screw it back, make it tighter. There we go. And then unscrew it, put it here. All right, then you got that. And then what I've been doing with this is, I love these cameras because the hole goes through the entire housing of the camera. So you're not going to be breaking off where a snake cable goes through the back of a camera. I know with Brownings it's metal in the back, which is really cool. But this also, nobody's going to be able to, you'd have to rip the whole top of the camera off if you're going to try to steal it without cutting the cable. Even the mounting bracket has a hole through it for snake cable, which I think is just genius. So I run the snake cable through the hole of the bracket, get it up to about the area that I want the lock to be. I want the lock to kind of be in and alongside it there. And then you're just kind of loosely putting this together. So come back in on the opposite side of the same size as the lock, but opposite side where you came out, and run it through the top. Or if you have, the holes in the back of your camera, you just run it through the holes in your back of your camera. Run this around. Come around here. And then run it through your snake cable. Sometimes you got to get the cable lined up just right in the hole to get it to go through. There it goes. I always put the locking where the key goes in the snake cable, always put downhill. You don't want water running up into that and rusting out the inside. So I always make sure that's downhill. You keep it relatively loose. You don't tighten it up all the way because you want to be able to adjust it, on where you want it at. Tighten that just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to want it to cast in this area right here. These fresh shoots of grass is what the turkeys really like this time of year. They come in along this tree line, they got water, and these fresh shoots of grass just totally available to them. Farmers got the cows in the field right now, but that don't affect the turkeys at all. They'll come in here with the cows in the field. Gotten several videos of them and cows just within feet of each other doing their thing. But I'm just going to clear it out here, and I think for eye appeal, I'm going to be putting like a deer skull or something here just to kind of offset, just for some eye appeal. And not eye appeal to the turkeys, but to the viewer. I think when you see like a shed antler or a deer skull or something in the frame, it's just kind of cool. So I'm going to use the whiter of the two skulls that I have, mainly because I want to make absolutely sure that the farmer sees it if he's driving back here on his tractor. You do not want your farmer running over any deer antler or shed or anything you have down that can poke a hole in a tractor tire, and that's not good. So I'm going to set it up here on this kind of raised portion, so I know absolutely there's no way in the world he wouldn't see it, and just kind of stake it down there for some eye appeal. Yeah, the turkey's not going to pay no attention to it. You know, because I'm not putting a decoy or anything here. This will be I'll be putting a blind along this creek, and I don't put decoys out anywhere for my trail cameras where I'm going to actually hunt. I believe the turkeys get desensitized to them, so I won't be doing that. So I'm going to tie this off and adjust the camera just the way I want it. And that's pretty much the setup. It's so quick and easy. It's secured. You can adjust it at any angle that you want. I mean, it just really works out well. All right, so this is the little locking mechanisms that I use, little combination locks. You ain't got to carry a bunch of keys. You can just tuck it in behind there. It's low profile. The camera's actually angled just the way I want it. It's running. I put these up for bears because bears will sniff up and put their mouth on these tree steps, and you know, feel that metal, and they'll lose interest a little bit in this maybe. Or if the cows come over, cows like to rub their heads against trees. It'll just help protect my camera just a little bit from getting totally destroyed by any kind of cows that want to come up. These are my heavy duty, I mean, they're real thick metal ones. So got everything set up. These turkeys, they love to come into this grass. They'll come in here and just strut around. I can't go down that far because the farmer's got his salt licks and water thing down there, but I'm gonna set another one up this way. Show you all the diversity of this setup and the way that mountain bracket works allows for almost anything. So this is the very end of the clover, the strip of clover I was telling you about that comes up. This is the very end of it. It tapers off in the regular field right here. So this is kind of a funnel way. They come out the corner of the field, or they come down the road, or even if they come off the ridge here, the ridge point, and then cross the creek and then over. But this is a lot of turkeys move through here through the spring. A lot of turkeys every year. So I set up a camera really low. I'm trying to get low camera angles this year. It's just something different. So I've got this camera set. Let me just make sure I want it right here. Yeah, it looks good. So I got this camera set here really low, just off the ground. Same setup. If you're going to put cameras really low to the ground, and I learned this the hard way, the ground slopes a little bit downhill here, so that would have helped, but I went ahead and put a flat rock because when we get a real hard rain, it splashes mud driplets all up over your camera. I've come in and had cameras just covered with speckles of mud all over it to where you can't even see out the lens. With that downhill slope and that rock right there, that should keep that from happening. The rain should just run right off of it, and it shouldn't blow anything back up on it to mess up the lens.